Hello everyone and welcome back to TowerGate. It is TowerGate Day 412, Friday, Fun Friday, April the 17th, 2018. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, on Thursday afternoon, the texts were released. Now, let's take a look at what they did. We're getting mixed messages on exactly what was released. We're getting some reports stating there was about 300 text messages. Another report saying there were thousands. These would have been text from Lisa Page and Peter's been stroking us from the period December 14th, 2016 until May 17th, 2017. In other words, after Trump won the presidency and just before Mueller was appointed special counsel and all that would have happened to be in between. We're also getting word from Gates and DeSantis and Jordan that they smell a rat, because apparently there's a lot of redactions, which we expected, and there are very large amounts of what they believe is missing material that should be there. They expect that during this period of time, with the large amount of text, that there should be thousands and thousands and thousands of texts. So, they're obviously not happy, and it looks like the game continues. I don't think any of us are surprised by this. Now, the redacted versions that were released of course, is what we expected. Now, of course, members of Congress or the congressional investigators working for these congressional committees are able to go over to a SCIF at the DOJ and look at the unredacted versions. But that doesn't account for the missing texts, the large amounts of what appears to be huge gaps in these texts. What this tells us is that they didn't release everything. And what kind of things do you think that they held back or destroyed? I would say the most damaging things. I don't know how much that the IG turned over, but that would be my question. They need to write a letter to the IG and find out exactly how many pages that he turned over to the DOJ. Because they're talking about only having received about 49 pages of about 300 text messages. Now, we're talking about the period of December through May. That's almost 6 months. In fact, it is 6 months. 6 months and 2 days. There should be thousands, not hundreds. There shouldn't be 49 pages. There should probably be 490 pages. So I think that what they need to do is write a letter to the IG and find out how many pages of text he turned over, because it doesn't look like they got them all. And we know what they would hold back. They would hold back the ones that are the most damaging. So, in other words, the game is still on. The game is still on. Now, if this does not force these committee chairmen to round up the troops and go for a contempt of Congress and follow up with a judge to impeach and replace these individuals who are corrupt with some honest people so that we can get to the truth. That's what needs to happen. And I hope they do that tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised over the weekend they get together and say, okay, you just get tired of playing this game where you tell them what you want, they drag their feet, then they finally produce something, but it's only a small amount. They give you piecemeal, a little bit at a time. It's obvious what is going on here. They are trying to drag their feet and drag it on and keep it going because they know the plan. They know the plot. The plot is for Mueller to drag out his investigation, and then, about 2 weeks before the midterms, he's going to release his report, which is going to show that his findings are that there was collusion, or that there was obstruction, or something in that vein. That would not give Republicans or Trump and his attorneys time to respond. They're hoping that this would tip the midterm elections to the Democrats, who would then take over Congress, shut down the investigations, and probably begin impeachment hearings. They would certainly throw the brakes on the Trump agenda, and that would be it. That's the plan. And this is why they keep doing what they're doing. They run it out to the very end, to where the strings run out, and they're facing contempt of Congress, and then they release something. But it's a little bit, and probably they're withholding the real damaging material. And this continues to go on over and over again. And they keep threatening, Congress keeps threatening about contempt of Congress and impeachment, but they never actually pull the trigger. That is what they need to do. They need to stop playing. I've been saying this in video after video. This is not child's play. This is not a game. And these people, the swamp monsters, do not believe that that Congress will take it to that level. They don't believe they'll take the game to the next level and actually do impeachments and contempt of Congress. That's why they need to do it. I mean, it's the only way you're going to get to the bottom of this and get this information. They are not going to come off the damaging material. They're not. They are not. You're going to have to get some other people in there who are honest, who will. These people who are at the DOJ and the FBI right now are not going to comply. They have everything to lose. Everything. Nothing to gain whatsoever by cooperating. Nothing. So why should you expect them to do that? The only thing that's happening is they are trying to run the game out. And you just can't let that happen. This should be the straw that breaks the camel's back. This should trigger those contempt of Congress charges, and then the vote for impeachment of no shit Sherlock Christopher Wray, Rod Rosenstein, and unfortunately Jeff Sessions. This should trigger it. And they have one other option, is to go to the president and ask him to declassify everything and order from the executive branch to order that they send up to the executive branch everything directly to the president, where he can release them. I know one thing, continuing to play this rope-a-dope game is not going to work. How many times do we have to go through this dog and pony show? This Texas two-step. It's the same thing. It happens over and over and over again. Congress says, give us the stuff. They refuse. Congress threatens subpoenas, impeachment, contempt of Congress. DOJ says, oh, okay, we get it. Here you go. And they give us a tiny sample, a tiny percentage of what was requested. Congress then comes back and says, oh, that's not good enough, and we're going to hold you in contempt if you don't give us what we want. And then some weeks go by, and then they drop a little bit more, and this thing goes on and on and on. At some point, you have to take massive action and follow through on what you say you're going to do. This should be the last straw. My last straw happened months ago. I would have done this months ago. The letter that they should send Sessions and Rosenstein and Wray is a message that says, give us everything we've requested, which is not only our responsibility, but we have the right to see everything. Not what you want us to see. We get to see everything. We get to see it all. We want it all, and we get to see it all. And if you don't send it over, we are going to impeach you and throw you out of office. And then they need to do it. It's very simple. It's called hardball. That's what, you got to get in the game. The deep state is playing hardball. We're playing tiddlywinks. And I don't know if they're worried about political concerns or blowback or what it is, but they better worry about blowback from their own constituents and not the left-wing media and the Democrats. Screw the left-wing media and the Democrats. Who cares how they respond? If you're a Republican right now, you need to be worried about your base. And the base is tired of you playing softball with these people. It's time to get tough. It's time to take massive action and stop getting screwed around with. This is a joke. If what we're hearing is true, and all we got was 49 pages, lots of things blacked out, lots of things missing, big gaps, and this type of stuff, that means that they're still playing with you. They still don't believe you, they're not taking you seriously, and they don't fear any repercussions. That's what this tells us. So we'll see over the next couple days. I'm sure some other intriguing information will come out. There'll be some stuff in here that's probably noteworthy, but the real stuff, believe me, is buried. And they need to get that. Yes, they do. A lot of people are talking, there maybe have been some talk about a possible assassination plot. Do you think that they would turn that over? I doubt it. I doubt it. So we'll watch over the next few days and we will see what of the things that were released. We'll see if there's anything in there really juicy. But mostly what I'll be watching for is to see on Monday, after these Republican committee members get together and realize that they're getting screwed with again, and we'll see on Monday if they decide that they have to up their game and take it to the next level, which is to actually have the vote to actually impeach, hold them in contempt, and then impeach these individuals, Sessions, Rodenstein, and Wray. Impeach them. Throw them out. Do it. And then replace them with someone who actually follow the law, which is, you got to turn it all over. Congress has oversight. They have all the clearances they need to see everything, and they have a right to get everything, not redacted or anything else. They get to see it all. That's the rules. Okay. We have Comey lying again. Now this time he goes on Fox with Bret Baier. And he claims that it was the Republicans who paid for the dossier. Comey knows good and damn well that that is a lie. He knows that it was Paul Singer, the money man behind the Washington Free Beacon, which first used Confusion GPS to do op research on Trump and other Republicans in the field. But Chris Steele and the dossier had not even come into play then. Christopher Steele and the dossier did not come into play until the Rotten Reverend Clinton took over, making payments to Confusion GPS to continue the opposition research, and specifically on Trump. While Mr. Singer and the Washington Free Beacon were paying Confusion GPS for op research, Christopher Steele and the dossier were not even in the picture. And Comey knows this. But even after Bret Baier corrected him and told him what I just told you, Comey then repeated the same thing. He said, well, I thought that Steele was involved when the Washington Free Beacon and Paul Singer were involved. And of course, Bret Baier had to correct him again. So Comey is playing dumb. There's no way he could have been the FBI director involved in this as deep as he was and not know that Christopher Steele and the dossier did not come into play until after the Rotten Reverend Clinton entered the picture. Everyone knows that. I mean, that's been broadcast. It's been written about. It's known fact. I mean, everyone knows this. Anyone who spent even 10 minutes looking into the dossier and how it got started and all that, I mean, there's just no way Comey could really believe this. He is a pathological liar. No question about it. And then he says that Comey says he's embarrassed by the GOP, of which Jim Jordan, of course, couldn't believe his ears. Neither could I. How in the world could James Comey make a statement? He's embarrassed by the GOP? That is strange. He's not the least bit embarrassed by the FBI, despite the fact that most of the very top people, he himself was fired, his deputy was fired. He has two or three other people, actually 5 other people that were fired, high-level people who've either fired, been reassigned, or have resigned, have left their position. We have a couple people cooperating with the IG, it appears. Yet he's embarrassed by the GOP. I mean, when we talk about the fact that Comey has a God complex, there it is, right there. That is absolutely textbook God complex. He does not see at all. He just can't see it. And that tells you, it's unbelievable that this guy was running the FBI. What a horribly flawed group of people. And there's a whole other group of them, whole bunch of them, just like him, that think just like him. They're the people at the FBI and the DOJ that are blocking all that information from getting out. That's why they need to go. Need to clean house. Well, we had Kim Jong-un meeting with the South Korean president today at the border. This is a very good sign. Very good sign. I believe he is the first North Korean leader since the Kims took over power in North Korea to meet with or to go step foot on South Korean territory. So it's a major deal to have it gone this far. Now, I'm still skeptical of Kim Jong-un because I've seen this over and over and over again, but I've never seen it go quite this far. But we're going to find out if this is serious business or if this is just another one of North Korea's plots and schemes. We're going to find out. But something else that was very interesting we saw today is the White House did release a couple of press photos of Mike Pompeo shaking hands and meeting with Kim Jong-un. These are official White House photographs of that meeting. And you can see them there standing next to each other. And then you can see another photo where they're shaking hands. And they're all smiles. So there may be this may be, the real deal. I've just seen so much from North Korea in the past that I'm skeptical. But if in fact this does play itself out, and you do see a reunification, you do see an official peace treaty signed, and North Korea actually does decide that they're going to talk about denuclearization, man oh man, this will be extraordinary. The biggest foreign policy accomplishment of any American president since probably the end of World War II. Maybe even bigger than that. Unbelievable. We're getting more leaks about this book by Amy Chosick of the New York Times, who of course was the New York Times reporter covering the Rotten Reverend Clinton campaign in 2016. In addition to all the nasty stuff that's in her book about how rotten the Reverend really is, as far as her personality, how she treats people, the screaming, the yelling, the throwing things, the cursing, the F-bombs, and all the rest, the meltdowns. Now she's also, some leaks coming out, that the entire campaign was like some sort of an orgy. Apparently, nearly every night, the Secret Service that was there to protect the Rotten Reverend was visiting the hotel rooms of female journalists. So apparently they had the Secret Service banging these reporters during the Hillary Clinton campaign. That would absolutely make sense. That sounds about right for the rotten Reverend Clinton and the type of people that she runs around with and her husband runs around with. This is exactly what you would expect. These journalists having hookups every night during the campaign with the Secret Service agents, who are probably drunk and stoned and everything else. What a mess. Secret Service is really, really... Whew. Boy, you talk about... That's another corrupt group of folks that need to be just completely disbanded. Trump's right. Private security is the way to go. Just get rid of these guys altogether. My God. Just let the military take care of protecting the president. And let him hire private security. Secret Service, after that little stand-down operation in Dealey Plaza, I've never trusted them ever since. I'm sure you've seen the video. There are no Secret Service agents riding on the back of JFK's car as it's coming down in front of Dealey Plaza. None of them. There were supposed to be 2 Secret Service agents there. By not being there, they provided the kill shot. They certainly did. It was a stand down then. That's a rotten group of people. And then we had the episode with them doing drugs and messing around with hookers down in Mexico when Bush was president. I mean, these guys are dirty, 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 dirty. Man, oh man, the swamp is just disgusting. I don't know about you guys, but I just want to pull the drain plug and drain the whole fucking thing. I really do. I wish there was some way the president could do an executive order and shut the entire fucking place down for a year if it takes. Fire every damn one, from the attorney general, the FBI director, the whole damn crew, all the way down to the guy who sweeps the damn floors. Fire them all. Start over. Shut the whole damn thing down while you rehire new people. And nobody need apply if you have any connection to anybody in the damn swamp. Over 200 million citizens. I'm sure we can find plenty of honest, trustworthy people who are capable and qualified to fulfill those jobs, those duties of those jobs, and fill those jobs. I say pull the plug on the entire swamp right now, drain the entire thing, throw every damn one of them out. If you have to shut the whole damn city down for a year, it would be worth it. I'm beyond sick. Beyond sick. And I know a lot of you guys are too. Man, oh man, I wish to God It's really hard to report on this stuff. It is. I mean, it's frustrating. Of course, we had Bill Cosby found guilty on 3 counts of sexual assault. Apparently, he was drugging women and then assaulting them. It's really sad because I liked Cosby. When I was a kid, we used to listen to his comedy tapes. They were really funny. He had a great show on TV. I used to love Fat Albert. Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert. Yep. I used to love that cartoon, Fat Albert. Real talented guy. Always seemed like a really good guy. And then you find out that he's been involved in this. There's apparently 50 to 60 women. Not to mention probably many others have never come forward. Many who have passed away. You don't know how long his trail of victims is, but it's this type of stuff that just very disheartening. But he's 80 years old, so I don't know how many years of prison time he's going to get. But he'll probably die in prison, that would be my guess. I imagine he's going to appeal this. He's old enough and he's got, $100 million. He can probably afford to fight this and appeal it to his death. I don't know. Maybe he'll take care of his own life. But who knows? But it's very disappointing for someone who grew up with Cosby and always thought he was a decent guy to find this out, and it's just very disappointing. On top of everything else, you're not going to believe this one. Okay, this is another one that you're going to think I'm lying. I'm not. I'm not lying. If you want to read it for yourself, go to the Gateway Pundit and read it for yourself. Here you go. Nazi Pelosi, Madam Botox, is now saying that Democrats should not talk about impeaching Trump. It could be a gift to Republicans. I kid you not. It gets worse. I'm going to give you her direct quote. She said, I have been saying over and over again, I have been clear right from the start. And she's talking about the fact that this shouldn't be talking about impeaching Trump. She's saying that she's been saying since the very beginning over and over, and she's been clear from the start, that they should not be talking about impeaching Trump. I kid you not. Now, even Democrats have to be scratching their head going, wait a minute, Nancy, you have been talking about impeaching the president forever, along with Debbie Blabbermouth Wasserman Schultz, Maxine Waters, the Rotten Reverend, and every other damn Democrat on the Hill, and every damn Democrat in the left-wing media. That's all they've been talking about, is impeaching Trump. Now, she's saying that Democrats should not be talking about impeaching Trump. It could be a gift. And that she's been saying it over and over again since the very beginning. They shouldn't be talking about impeaching Trump. Wow. Again, it's the swamp. I don't know what happens there. Maybe there's something in the air. Maybe there's something in the water. Maybe there's something in the food. Maybe... I mean, the problem here is that we're sane people. And we are connected people. We're grounded people. We're reasonably intelligent people. And we're trying to rationalize things coming out of the swamp which are impossible to rationalize. We might as well go beat our heads against a wall because that's what it feels like. It's like trying to have a conversation with a Chinese mathematician who only speaks the Chinese language, Mandarin, and you don't speak a lick of it. Trying to do algebraic equations or something, calculus, statistics in Mandarin. You can't even relate to things that come out of the swamp, the thinking that comes out of there, the things they say, the things they do, the stunts they pull, the responses from guys who are supposed to be on our team. None of it. You look at this from where we're all sitting, you know, as outsiders looking in. We're looking at this, and you cannot grasp it with your mind because we have rational minds. What happens in D.C. is it's almost like a different planet. It's really hard to to grasp this. It'll make you crazy. I don't know how I'm not crazy by now. I don't know what keeps me sane. Maybe it's you guys in the comments section. Who knows? But it's very troubling. I feel, believe me, I feel exactly like you guys do. Trust me. I'm not above any of this. Now, let's get to the next thing. A couple positive things. Pompeo has been confirmed. That's good. Richard Grenell finally confirmed. That's good. He's a smart guy. He's homosexual, but that's fine. He's been confirmed to the ambassador of Germany. That's good. And the way it was done was good too. Twitch McConnell finally cut off debate and said, okay, we're going to have a vote, period. Finally, it only took him a year to get around to it. Not bad. It's an improvement. It's better than the other news we've got. We also have learned that the FBI confiscated documents from Patrick Fitzgerald and Daniel Richmond, the two guys that Comey claims is his lawyers. The FBI went to their offices and, I understand, to their homes to retrieve any classified information or documents that may have been given to them by Comey. So, if the FBI had to go to Richmond and Fitzgerald's place to search for, find, and retrieve documents given to them by Comey, they must to protect classified information is why they did it. Because if Comey might have given these guys classified information, we have to go get it. And so they went and got this stuff. which proves that even the FBI believes that Comey gave Richmond and Fitzgerald classified documents. And there's apparently a third person who's not been named. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, James, and prepare. You might need new attorneys, because now your attorneys might be indicted themselves for receiving classified information. I wonder who they shared it with. It appears that Kim Jong-un is bringing his own toilet to the summit meeting because he fears that spies will steal his poop. Now, a lot of you are laughing. I know, it's funny on its face. But we were just having a conversation about the deep state. Do you think that Kim Jong-un does not know about the swamp? Apparently he does. Maybe he knows it better than we do. I never thought that the swamp monsters would be interested in my poop. But now that he brings it up, and with everything else we've been talking about, would it surprise you that the swamp monsters would be interested in your poop? Based on everything else that we've been talking about today, I think Kim Jong-un may be onto something. Tom Brokaw has been accused of sexual harassment. And you guys know how I feel about sexual harassment. I'm not a big fan of sexual harassment unless it's all in good fun. I don't know if Tom Brokaw was having fun with his particular cases of sexual harassment. But like I say, when it comes to sexual harassment, we got to take that seriously. And I guess we'll find out more about Tom Brokaw and see what might be in store for him. If he will be blackballed like Charlie Rose and some of these other characters. You notice how it's always the liberal pundits who are being accused of these things. And it's funny, we got these charges against Bill Cosby. Now he's been found guilty. He'll probably appeal. I'm sure he will. But has anybody heard about the indictments on Weinstein? I wonder why not. Do you think that Mr. Weinstein's get-out-of-jail-free card might have something to do with the fact that he has a lot of information about a lot of powerful people and the things that they do? I think Mr. Weinstein might have a little diary that he could share. That might be what's keeping his butt out of jail. I can't think of any other reason. Can you? That's how that's how it works in the swamp. You got to have enough dirt on the people who've got dirt on you. Everybody has dirt on everybody else. That's what keeps them all out of jail. They can all take each other down. That's why we have to pull that plug and drain the swamp. Drain it dry. Now, I want to end tonight's video by asking a question which is going to require some thought. I know you'll have your first instinct, your first impulse, your first response will be, oh, yes or no. But I want you to take a moment to think about this for just a second. And the question I want you to all comment on is, would you like to be I.G. Horowitz right now? Would you like to be in his shoes? I mean, on the positive side, you could be assured that we would get all the documents in a real investigation, and we would identify all the perps in the deep state coup. We could do all that if we were the IG, because we're all honest and we hate the swamp and we would take care of business. But on the other hand, think about all the downside if you're IG Horowitz and you disclose all this. What could be the fallout and the damage? What could be the personal liability? What about death threats to you and your family and your family's family and all your friends and your pets? Everybody, everything possibly comes into play. Could be a very dicey situation. So my question to you is, if you could be in his shoes, would you want to be I.G. Horowitz right now? Yes or no? Would you want to be I.G. Horowitz? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be looking forward to reading your response and your comments to that. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.